So welcome to the start of the 2055 season. In this video we have some live comms. Now you know what that means. The latter stages of the Champions League. I did well building that up, didn't I? But quickly, just first off, we do have a player in the top 50 of Wonder Kids for 2055, and it is Lundamore, who we picked up last year. So he has had almost a full season with us, which means we take credit for that top 50 qualification. So moving on to the ins for this season, Erik Sinvertsen, who I was looking at signing last year, but again under the age of 18 at the time. It was before the start of last season. I was looking to bring him in, and wasn't interested in coming. We've picked him up now for 6 million. I'm retraining him to play on the left flank as a winger, because when he could only play on the right. I think he could be a very, very good player. So I think for 6 million, a good bit of business. Another player costing 6 million. He's going to be in our under 18s this season, I think. Potentially, if he performs well, he might move up very quickly. 6.25 million. Ayman El Henawi, an Egyptian. He is 6'2" and a very, very good looking central defender. It says his media description is a fullback, naturally as a fullback, but for me, he's definitely a centre back. And the final signing is a player who we almost brought to the club last season, but couldn't negotiate the contract properly. Wonder Kid, Tor Olav Bergslid. Now he comes in, he can play left wing. I'm retraining him as a right winger as well. I like to make sure my wingers can cover both sides. He's very talented. So another teenage Norwegian who comes over to the Faroe Islands who has a lot of potential. So that is 25 million spent on transfers, but now under the outs, it's not the best. So Skoldermoose has gone to Cant for 650k. Gone out on loan is Gadiga, just never settled. Only played 2 games for the first team. He's gone out on loan. We do get a good bit of money for that. Rene Vang, I said nobody would hit that minimum fee release. I was getting offers of 11 million. Then randomly FC Colin came and offered the full 20. I was so disappointed because at the end of this 2055 season, his minimum fee release was removed. But unfortunately, he's gone. I tried to get him back on loan because he was playing for their B team. But he just had no interest in coming back, which is also very upsetting. Going off to Dortmund, I did say to you guys, Markovic would go. The 17.25 minimum fee release, which his agent put in and we couldn't get rid of, came back to bite us in the backside. Couple of more loans there going out. And then finally, Castillo. This was a strange one. I got offered some money from Hertha, 6 million. We paid 7 for him. And he came and said, I want to go. I like the look of Hertha, I want to go. And I said, no. Straight away, some of the players within the squad came to me. So I said, you know what, we'll let him go then if they bid 11.5. They came back with a bid which mixed up, comes to 11.5 quite quickly. It's like after one appearance, we get another 3 million. So I let him go. He wasn't going to ever be a first choice guarantee this season. It was good money. We've made profit this season, so I am a very pleased person. I would say the only other bit of transfer news to mention is that Cobb, a lot of the players come to me and said they were unhappy that I've not let him go. I said I'm not in the process of selling good players, to which they said let him go. So I said, you know what, okay, I'll sell him. So he put the transfer request in. I said I wanted 80 million. The transfer request came in at 26. So I've changed it to 80 million again. We're going to see how close to 80 I can get. 100% this guy's the best player I've ever had, I think, in this series. He's just insanely talented. So moving on to how things have been going then. After the winter break, we beat Juventus 3-0. Cobb on the score sheet and Paul picking up 2. Then we got a victory against Red Star. We got Bergslid scored, Mark Quadson and 16 on the score sheet, which saw us end in second place. So the first time we've ever finished in the top 8, and we did it coming second. Now that got us drawn against Barcelona in the round of 16, and we lost the first leg 1-0. Now fortunately we came back and won the second leg 2-0, which saw us go through to the next round. Now in the next round we came up against Newcastle and lost the first leg 3-2, with our old player Keith Franklin getting 2 for them. Cobbe for us and Silvertson on the score sheet. in the 92nd minute, by the way. Just what a talented player he is. But in the second leg, we absolutely turned up and won the game 4-1, seeing us go through 6-4 in aggregate. Dorder, Dalsgaard, Yemeland and team on the scores. You can see, by the way, 3 goals after the 90th minute. We were insane. Can I just say, we just played so well. They had 20 shots to our 12, but we had just a little bit more possession. We really did look like a good team. Now, one thing to point out is we did actually lose the Super Cup. We lost on penalties to KI. I've been putting heavily rotated sides out in the league games, but in this game we actually put a strong side out. We just didn't do it. Now, domestically in the league, we're looking good. Played 9, won 9, plus 37 goal difference. 2 points out of KI, but we have played a game less. Now, our team at the minute, first choice 11, we're looking at Otterson, Zwenge, Klein, Mark Watson and Hjelhog. Now, we have been playing Dorder. I can't pronounce that name. We're going to have to rename this. Dorde, we're going to call him. So we've been playing Dorde in this defensive deep line playmaker role. He's not the best at it, but we're short in that position at the minute. I have moved forward, who came through the intake last year, if you remember, Hygard, who is one of our rotation options now in centre mid. But he plays alongside Hjelland, Silverton, Cobain, Paul, and then Lundemo up top. We have struggled with a few injuries. The likes of this Bergslid we picked up has missed quite a few games due to injury. But we're doing well. We're looking solid. We're into the semi-finals of the Champions League. Now, talking about the semi-finals, we're going to be playing the second leg now live, because in the first leg, it finished Atlanta 1, AB 1, with Mark Watson on the score sheet for us. Now, in the second semi-final, it's Bayern Munich against Marseille, and Marseille are going to be taking a 1-0 deficit back to France. So I'm hoping we can do something at home to Atlanta. And then hopefully we can get Marseille in the final of the Champions League. That would be the dream. But let's move forward, shall we? Let's just make sure our squad. See, Dorde is looking tight at 83%. The issue is, who do we bring in to replace him? Sterler is injured, lightly injured. We do have Taney, who has been retraining in this deep line playmaker position. Not a bad player, but is he ready to step in and play? I don't think so. I think I'm probably going to end up going with Lindemark and switching it for when he plays to a defensive midfield just on support. I think that's the best option. Mats Lindmark, he's very, very good, let's be honest. And playing him in deep line, in this deep line role, defensive midfield sport, if anything, he's slightly more all-rounded than Dede, so let's go with him. Okay, come on. Oh, this is the last season for Mark Watson and Paul. Both of them have said they're going to explore options at the end of the season. Both of them are probably leaving us. Our home form is important. This is the second leg of a semi-final of the Champions League. Come on. Half the stadium's empty, but remember, we are getting a new stadium. At the end of the 2057 season, we will be moving into a stadium named after us, which is always nice. Bit of encouragement there, 10 minutes in. Okay, they have the ball in defence. They go into midfield, just inside our half now. Go left-hand side, they play a good through ball. Mark Watson comes across to block it, but it's not needed. Goes out for a goal kick. Okay, deep in their half now, they have a throw-in. Are they going to play out, or are we intercepting this? They are playing out at the minute. Still just outside their own box here, passing it around. Runar goes out to the left-hand side. Former player for us, by the way. Now at Atalanta. A player who I'd love to have back, and he would fit into our defensive midfield perfectly. But unfortunately, he's no interest in coming back to the club at the minute. They're passing it around, though. Atalanta look very, very good at this point. As they go 1-0 up. Mark Watson, own goal, makes it Atalanta 0. Sorry, Atalanta 1, AB 0. Come on. It doesn't change much. We still need a goal. So I've gone attacking and just demanded more. Ransbeck with a free kick for them. It does go over the bar. So Otterson will have that goal kick there. Just fire us up. 35 minutes. We're not seeing anything happening. I think we will go slightly more direct in the second half and just see if we can create something. I'm just going to say you've been terrible. They are all motivated from that bit of abuse there. Let's go more direct with a higher tempo. I still want to work the ball into the box because we do really struggle giving away silly balls in that final third when we don't have that on. Like, Kobe doesn't win it. Bertini goes back. They play it over the top, the in. The high line keepers come all the way out. It's 2-0. Van Rasbeck. Our second appearance in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and it's not looking like a successful one at this point. I'm going to just fire us up. I just wonder. Let's up the tempo as high as we can. Give them a couple of minutes. We might make a adjustment here, but they on the attack again. Over the bar. Let's just confirm that change. Just wondering if on the hour we make a couple of substitutions to try to see if we can do something here. Bring on 16 on the right wing. Very creative, a good player. Lindmark I'm going to take off for Taney and bring him on as the playmaker. See if he can get on the ball. And maybe Bertslid for Paul. Just because he is a player with a lot of potential. Maybe it's a game for him to step up and do something. We're going to demand more, but I think we need 3 goals in the final 20 minutes here, and I don't see it happening at the minute. I really don't. It's not a game where we've turned up in. I mean, getting to the semi-finals again of the Champions League, second time, obviously last time we won it, does show that we are progressing well. We are still developing. We're weak in that defensive midfield position. I know that. That really does need fixing before the next season of Champions League games. I think in the summer we need to look at a very good defensive midfielder. I did have my eye on a 32-year-old Brazilian who I thought could come in and do a job for 1 or 2 seasons. But unfortunately he chose to stay at Napoli instead. I was a bit disappointed. Ball across, though, we don't unfortunately create anything from that. Right, Yemeland goes back to clean. Highlights gone. Just fire us up. I think that is all she wrote. Intercepted by Kobe. Can we create something at the last minute here? Kobe. Ball across. No. Unfortunately, not. 5 shots to 8. Well, 6 now. 31% possession. Now, a lot of that will be down to the fact we're playing direct. We're not holding onto the ball how we normally would. But disappointing. Disappointing we didn't turn up at such a big moment, big match, big event. That's annoying. It's annoying. Full time there. 3-1. I'm far from pleased. I would have liked to see us turn up at home. So we've got 10 million for that. Financially, that's put us in a decent position. 170 million with 44 million in profit this season as well. After last season, obviously losing money. Coefficient wise, we've got 7.8 points for this run, which will move us up to 40.3, which puts us very solidly behind Turkey, Greece, Scotland, Denmark in a good position to keep hopefully pushing on. So I think sadly, unfortunately, that's us out of the Champions League at the semi-final stage. We have started the league well. Unfortunately, we didn't win the Super Cup, so far it's been quite a poor season, I would say. Losing the Super Cup, and, well, no. Can you call getting to the Champions League semi-finals a poor season? I don't think so. It's been an upsetting season to get so close to the final and not make it. Who won in the other match, by the way? The other game must be in... Yeah, it's actually in the next day. I'll tell you what, let's send my assistant there. Let's jump forward. I'm just curious who goes through in the Champions League. Just wondering, would we have got Bayern Munich or Marseille? Kielster's back from injury, by the way, which is nice. Good rotation player in the squad at the minute. Here we go. Okay, would have been Bayern Munich. So they are a very, very tough side. I think I would have fancied our chance on a one-off game against Marseille. Bayern Munich, different story. But thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. The video where we won the Champions League went live a couple of days ago. And the reaction has been insane. So thank you so much for that. I'm going to push on as we hit towards July and August in this 2055 season. I'm going to look to strengthen central midfield. I think I can probably look at spending currently 134 million profit over the last 3-year period. Obviously, last season we did lose quite a bit. I think we need a defensive midfielder. I'm concerned we're going to lose Cobbe. Now, if we lose him for 80 million, I'm telling you now, I will spend the whole 80 million back on a defensive midfielder or 2 players. But we'll see what we can do. Thank you for watching. I've been Paul, also known as the Northman. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time.